Hello, and thank you for joining me again. I hope that you're liking my videos, and I hope that you subscribe. My next guitar I bought second hand in 1997. When I was buying my Fender Strat Plus in 1994, I was hoping for that big fat sound, and my expectations of that guitar were all wrong, because when you buy a Strat, you've got to find out what they're really for, and then they're not really, with the single coils I had in it, designed to have that sort of sound that I was going for at the time. Whereas now I love single coils and I use them a lot of the time. But you know, I wanted to buy a Les Paul, and I just couldn't afford it at the time. And 4 years later, well, 1997, I was, one come up for sale, and I managed to persuade my then wife to let me buy one. And it is this. It's a 1993 Gibson Les Paul Standard in Heritage Cherry Sunburst with a bird's eye top. You don't see many of these around. When I bought this, it didn't have the pick guard on it, and I bought a cheap pick guard and it didn't fit, so I had to buy a proper Gibson one, and it fitted perfectly. And it had the gold speed knobs on it, and I hated them, so I took them off, and I had gold bonnet knobs for quite a few years. And about 3 years ago I put these reflector knobs on, because I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan, and I always saw Scott Gorham with the reflector knobs on. So you follow your idols, don't you? It's I think it's a one-piece mahogany body, the one-piece mahogany neck, bird's eye top, as I said, and it had 490R, 498T pickups in it. These in here now, these are Bare Knuckle Mule pickups, and they are amazing. I love these pickups. Bare Knuckle pickups are just about the best you can buy. And also, when I got this, it had the Clues-on tuners on it, whereas I had these Grovers fitted a number of years ago now, about 7-8 years ago, by the Guitar Mania again. But this is what I wanted, and I found this, as I said, I bought it second hand, and the prices of these now are ridiculous. So I'm really glad I got this. But it's typical shoddy Gibson workmanship on the frets, on the binding. There's some tooling marks on here, but it's such a good guitar that I don't really care about it, and it sounds amazing. It's not too heavy, but it's got a fair bit of weight to it. And these strings are D'Addario 10 to 52, which are my preferred set that I use. I like the heavier gauge strings. And again, I'm going to go through my Boss guitar. I'm on the clean channel at the moment, and I'm on half a watt as usual. And I shall give you the neck pickup. Big bell-like sound. The Mule pickups are not hot pickups, they're sort of vintage voiced, but they sound fantastic, and it's just such a great sound. We'll go into the middle now. Sound that not everybody uses, but it's a really useful sound. I quite like it. And then you've got the bridge. But where it really comes to life riff is when you give it some crunch. It's got that typical Les Paul footprint of a sound, really big, meaty. Here it really belts it out, and the sound of this is just fantastic. This guitar was my main guitar for quite a few years in some of the bands I played in. And I've used it live and recorded with it a lot. It's just a joy to play, but because I've got a bad back now, I don't tend to use Gibsons very much. It's got a sort of 50s neck on it, but it is just gorgeous. I love this guitar. This would be the last guitar I ever got rid of. It's just one of my favourites. And it is, you know, for a good reason. I've just had it for so long, since 1997. So, you know, it's what, 25 years now, and it is just gorgeous. It's the first guitar I really fell in love with. It's just fantastic. I don't know, it's the bird's eye top on this. It just looks really good. The thing is, the best bird's eye bit is underneath the scratch plate. So, turn it down. Yeah, I hope that you like this. It's not had any refret or anything, it's just as it came. But yeah, as I said, it's got a fair bit of weight to it. It must be about £9, I should think, maybe a bit more. But it's not as heavy as my other Les Paul, which weighs as much as Spain. But yeah, this is just gorgeous. Words can't describe how much I love this guitar. And it's going to go to a good home when I die. It's sort of been left in my will to someone. So yeah, I hope that you, as I said like before, I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you find these videos interesting. Someone asked me about my strings. I use Didarios on all of my guitars. They're just the strings that I prefer. Three of my Gibsons gauge 10 to 52, so they're a bit heavier. But I'll go through what strings are on my guitars as I get to them. I hope you find this interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.